is Muruna Ibrahim. First on this segment, insurance relevant in capital markets, says WAPIC. WAPIC Insurance PLC says it is working on strategic initiative to promote business sustainability and insurance relevance among capital market operators. This was made known during the firm's inaugural business breakfast meeting held in Lagos with the theme, Business Sustainability in Economic Recession. The Chief Risk Officer, Continental Reinsurance PLC, Mr. Bayomi Oluremi Judah, identified insurance as a veritable way of mitigating risks and urged insurance companies to be creative and develop suitable products for the risks being faced during recession. Next on this segment, Continental Ray records 17.5 billion naira in third quarter. Continental Ray Insurance PLC has recorded a gross premium income of 17.5 billion naira in third quarter of 2016, which represents 16% increase when compared with 15.1 billion naira corresponding period of 2015. The Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Femi Oyetunji, said growth opportunities and challenges continue to vary widely across the insurance market. Speaking further, he said they remain intensely committed on maintaining underwriting discipline and their focus on profitability over growth to further strengthen the company and at the same time growing the Nigerian insurance industry. And finally on this segment, NCRIB describes executive tenure policy as a threat. The Nigerian Council of Registered Insurance Brokers, NCRIB, has described the implementation of the Code of Corporate Governance, which mandates a managing director and executive director to leave office on the attainment of 10 years as a threat to the continued existence of firms. The NCRIB president, Mr. Kayode Okunore, at the just concluded 2016 National Insurance Brokers Conference and Exhibition in Abuja, urged the management of the Financial Reporting Council to be open to more constructive dialogue that will further make the rules more amendable to change in view of the peculiarity of the Nigerian economy. Viewers, that's the much we can bring to you on happenings in the insurance industry. Let's join Channel for more on insurance and claims. Stay with us.
That is the updates on happenings in the insurance industry. Thank you, Mona, for giving us that update. Now, on to our issue of the moment. I have in the house Mrs. Toiba Adeniro, who is the Group Head Takaful Unit of the Cornerstone Insurance PLC.
Good day, everyone there.
Thank you. And with her, we'll be looking at Takaful issues and perspectives. Now, on to that, I want to ask, we know that Takaful is an insurance product that is guided by Islamic laws, but can you tell us how Takaful came about, its origins, and how it came into insurance?
Actually, Takaful has been in existence since 2000. It came into an individual who happened to be a non-Muslim.
Wow.
Because he wrote his thesis on Islamic finance. He now realized that there's potential for the product to boom in Nigeria. So he now co-opted two individuals, my dad and my uncle. So over the weekend, we normally come for training, on and on. Eventually, when we got the feel out that there's potential, we went straight to Malaysia to look at the practical aspects. On coming back, the beauty is Takaful, that is in Nigeria today. Takaful came into Nigeria in 2003, and as purely family product. After a while, it grew and grew and grew before we now have a composite Takaful in Nigeria. And that has really helped the industry because the Muslims that were not partaking in the conventional, they are able to be part of Takaful. Not only that, even the regulator has been able to look at the product, see the potential that is going to add value to the industry in general. And what they did is to bring out guideline for Takaful. That was in 2013. Okay. And that is really helping the product to boom. Currently, Takaful is growing. I think we have some other operators in the market. I think about 3 now, and I know more will be coming to the market. Yes. This is a very good product that's helping both the Muslim and equally the non-Muslim.
Well, before we go into the issue of regulators and details, I wanted to also ask, what are the elements of Takaful?
Elements of Takaful are two. That is, we call one the investment, which is called the Mudalaba,
Okay.
and the second, which is supporting donation, which is called the Tabaru. So those are the two elements that guide Takaful in all over the world. And is something that Takaful, whoever is going to be Takaful operator, must ensure he guides jealously. So that is just the two main principles, which is the investment system and equally the supporting system, which is the donation or Tabaru.
Okay. So when you talk about the investment section, can you explain that in what area does it really affect? If you're talking about investment apart from the cooperative or apart from the other side?
When we say investment, the principle guiding investment in the Islamic world differ from the conventional system because there are some products that must not be part of Takaful.
Okay.
There are some products that Takaful cannot partake. Anything that has interest bearing, Takaful must not partake.
Nice.
Like bankers' acceptance, commercial papers, those are some of the few products. And there are equally some products that Takaful cannot be part of. Those products that are not in line with the ethics of the religion, like, let's say, hotel.
Okay.
Let's say anything that will not add value to the general public, especially on security, and many more. But we have some product that is in line with the ethics of Takaful, like the conglomerates. Most of the products that come in through conglomerate are halal, they add value. Even cigarettes, all those things are not in line with the ethics of the religion and is not acceptable as investment opportunity. But if you look at sukuk now, is another very viable investment in the Islamic world and is supporting us. I think Oshu State launched a sukuk some few years back, and more sukuk will still be coming on through the investment avenue.
You mentioned sukuk. Now, can you elaborate on that? Because we have people out there that don't really know these terms when it comes in Islamic terms. So could you just elaborate on that?
When we say sukuk, it means Islamic bond.
Okay.
We have the conventional bond, which is based on interest, but sukuk is not based on interest. It's based on the reality. It's based on what is on ground. If I have to launch a sukuk, I must show that it has potential for me to earn profit, not interest. So, and that is going to be the basis of both the sukuk and equally the repayment format.
Okay. Now, how has this, or how is this beneficial to the average Nigerians? Because you just said now that it is based on Islamic principle. There are some things that it will not support, or there are some things that you cannot do under Takaful. So how can this really benefit the average Nigerian, especially a non-Muslim?
Whether you're a non-Muslim or a Muslim, you can benefit fully. Takaful is meant for everyone. It depends on what your need is, because most of the Takaful products are based on individuals' needs. Your own need might be different from mine. The school's need, that is institution, nursery, primary, or tertiary, is different from a corporate organization. Depending on whatever your need is going to be the principle or the basis of the product that you can partake in. For example, let's say the middle class or even the lower class, there's some products that they can partake in. Some people are excluded from financial sector. Through Takaful now, most of them are coming in because of the various products that they can partake, either education, savings scheme. You can equally have a product that you can use in paying for your, maybe your dependents, even the apprentice, and also so many things. So we equally have some products that you can build to suit a specific need. It's very, very flexible and very, very interesting products.
Now, come to that. People have this, there's this notion, or there's this saying that Takaful seems to be more expensive than conventional insurance. Is that true, or how does it relate to the conventional insurance?
If you have to relate Takaful to conventional insurance, I will not say it's expensive. I will say it has all the values that conventional has. Plus, for example, a product like motor. If you partake in motor and you don't have claim over the year, because motor is renewable on a yearly basis, if you partake and there's no claim, you share from surplus.
Wow.
Not only motor, all the general products. There's opportunity for you. If you don't have a claim, you get part of the surplus, which is not available under the conventional system. And all what conventional has, Takaful equally have it. If you have claim, you benefit because it's a joint guarantee. Under the conventional, there's something we call transfer of risk.
Yes.
Under the Takaful, it is joint guarantee. We are all in it together. If there's any venture to any of us, we support. And at the end of the day, we look at what is available on ground as net, then we share it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's very interesting. Well, we'll take a short break now and we'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Insurance and Claims. And we have in the house Mrs. Adeniro, who has been telling us all we need to know about Takaful, especially in the issues and perspectives of Takaful. I wanted to ask, what are the different models of Takaful and how do they operate?
Currently, we have 3 models. We have pure Mudoroba. We have Mudoroba with Chabaro. We equally have Mudoroba with Chabaro and Wakala, which is called a hybrid. Under the Mudoroba, it's normally meant for those that operate pure family products, and it's only on investment. While the Chabaro with Mudoroba, it means some product will have elements of investment, and some will have pure donation or assistance. And the last one, which is the hybrid, that have the Wakala, it means the agency. Because there's need for people to push the product out there, those people will earn what we call commission. So agency system is what is called Wakala, and those are the 3 models that is available under Takaful.
Now, with this product, it sounds so wonderful and so encouraging, but are there challenges in Takaful? What are the challenges that one would face in Takaful?
There was challenge in the past, and some of those challenges have been overcome now. The first challenge is education. When Takaful came to Nigeria, the knowledge was not there. Many people don't know what is in it for them, how can they be part of it, what do we need to learn, what is the practical, what is the principle, and many more. But now we have some institutions that even have Takaful unit, Takaful department, where people are being trained towards knowing what Takaful is all about, what is in it, and so many theses are being written on Takaful. Most of you equally have the international word, you can Google, you can do so many things. So it's really helping on the education ground. And another challenge that we have was on regulation. But with the guideline of NICOM, that equally has been solved. And also marketing now, people are becoming to get used to it, to understand the principle, and many people are coming in. And I believe the only challenge I would say is how to take it to the grassroots.
Wow. So that means there's a lot that you have to do in making sure that it reaches the grassroots and then to enhance the penetration of insurance in Nigeria. Now, can you explain, Takaful operates differently from conventional insurance. Can you tell us what is really wrong with some practices, insurance practices that don't really tally with Takaful insurance?
Yes. It is believed that the way conventional insurance is being practiced, it has some elements that are not in line with the ethics of the religion. The first one is what we call uncertainty.
Okay.
That is, can you tell me you're covering my life? Also, we know from the Holy Book that every soul shall have a taste of death. So it's the understanding. That's the first one. Then the second one is, you are telling me I'm going to pay 10,000 to get myself covered. It is, look at, it has elements of gambling. Why the last but not the least, which is the one that most Takaful operator guides jealously, is the riba, which is the interest. Interest, we can't invest in all products. We must invest in halal products. We must invest in non-interest products. These two are what makes the interest differ from profit. Because interest is predetermined. Profit is futuristic.
Yeah, it could be
absolutely
low, it could
and exactly. Where interest might add a lot of challenge to the individual, profit, we add value. And many, many, many discrepancies that make different, profit and interest differ. So all these three are what has been taken off from Takaful. Presently, we know the main cover is death, and it is certain. In case of death or breadwinner, what happens to the dependent? So that one is certain. And what the Takaful operator does for dependent is support. So there's no gambling there. What you're going to contribute is known from day one. And what your benefit will look like in case of an eventuality is equally known, which is the contribution, which conventional call premium. While the last, not all investment can be partake under the Takaful. So we are very, very selective. And we know what is good and what is bad. Apart from this, to ensure that we do it rightly, we currently have some people at the Arm of Affairs, which we call the Advisory Council of Experts. They are Muslim scholars, and they've been helping to ensure that the product is in line with the ethics of the basis of which it was pushed to the public. So all these are what guided Takaful, and it has been very, very helpful.
You said something about the premium, or the contributions made that is fixed. Are there times that the contributions can increase, or it is just fixed?
Yes, there's flexibility.
Okay.
When I say contribution, that is what you want to contribute. You might decide to increase, you might decide to decrease.
Oh,
it's
so it depends on the individual.
It depends on the individual and the need or the purpose for which you want to use the fund for. So those are some of the determinants. Is different from you are going to pay 10,000, you're going to earn some assured in so period and all the rest. So those are some of the discrepancies.
Okay. So now, how many insurance companies actually sell Takaful products? Are they all over the place, or we are still coming up?
Outside the country, there's so many, but in Malaysia, in Bahrain, even in US. Ghana, they have Takaful. And many, many other developed countries.
But how about in
Nigeria here, presently, we have Cornerstone, we have, I know some other two, we have Takaful, then we have another company, which is the Jais Takaful.
Okay.
And I know many more will still be approved by the regulator, because presently I think we have less than 1% penetration of insurance. So if Takaful can add value, definitely we need to grow the figure. So that percentage and the GDP of the country can grow for better.
From what you're saying, it seems that with the present condition of the country now, Takaful, it's like the sure thing to do as in when it comes to recession and all that. How would you say this relates to the economic state of the country?
Looking at the economic state of the country, most of the products, the need is that what can grow our country of today is entrepreneurship. No doubt about that. And most time, whenever we have to go out, either to institution or to any group, we always encourage them. Let's learn vocation. The more you learn vocation, you can start keeping a small amount to build yourself. There's so many business you don't really need huge sum to start. I can tell you with 10,000, you'll be shocked what 10,000 can do for you. And that's where more and more cooperatives are on ground to support this cause. So we have all that on ground. Entrepreneurship is what is going to grow our economy. And with that, Takaful has opportunity for that.
Now, in the area of challenge, we have people that normally are not disposed to insurance, whether be it conventional or not. How would you be able to convince one to buy into Takaful? As a marketer, what we just do is, the first thing is we need to ask, look at your needs, because I can't just come and buy ABC product. We have to look at your needs. The best product most people buy is education plan, because it is believed that the best legacy you can leave for your child is education. And there are so many types of education. Not all children will go for real education. Some will go for vocational training. We have some group of people that we encourage. They train the trainer. Those people will train those who have learned. Those who have learned under that same course, we equally train others. Some of them, they're into small shops, and many, many others into fashion designing. It's really helping. You can buy yourself one machine. Machine is around 35 to 80,000, depending on the type. You can buy yourself
oil, and all that. By the time you look at all these things, you realize you can still walk around 50,000.
Wow.
And you'll be shocked. It's going to help. So if you have all this type of thing, it's going to be good. Apart from that, whether you're a Muslim or non-Muslim, you have the same right. I want to meet Mr. A. I've seen, look at his system. Maybe you have challenge with finance. We equally have link with non-interest banks that can give them loan, which we might not be able to give.
Wow.
And after that, they have opportunity to get whatever asset they have purchased. Even if you have to buy a taxi, you need to cover your car through Takaful. As a non-interest bank, the best product to buy is Takaful. You can see we equally continue to complement one another. When we have customers, we push to them, they grant the credit, we cover, and we are there. Wow. So that partnership is really, really fantastic.
That's really interesting. What is your advice to people out there?
My advice to people out there is that we need to inculcate the habit of savings. And the best product that you can partake is Takaful. You can start with small, small savings. The more you grow, you can equally increase. That flexibility is there. We have any product that can suit you as an individual, organization, cooperative, name it. Please come along. Let's partner with you so that we can grow together. Thank you very much.
Well, you've heard it all from Mrs. Adeniran, who has told us a lot about Takaful, the issues and the perspectives, and I'm sure you've learned one or two things. Mrs. Adeniran, it was good to have you on the program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, this is the much we can bring to you on Insurance Time Claims today. I look forward to hearing from you. So please send in your questions, your comments, and your complaints via our social media platforms that are displayed on the screen. I will definitely get back to you. Well, till I come your way next time, I am Chana Ejoga. Enjoy your weekend.
Our programs are getting better and fresher. And it's because we are thinking about you. NTA, it's all about you.
How to make a sculpture piece. You get your clay, it has to be processed and well kneaded. Prevent it from drying by putting it in a plastic bag. Then get a base. Bases are essential because you need to sculpt on a surface that can make the work easy to move. A spatula, a piece of broom to etch and make details. Now, one good thing about art is everything could be used as a material. Let's sculpt. The hands of an artist never seem to lie.
Gas pipelines are the arteries for powering electricity. When the artery is burst, then the entire system collapses. Vandalizing gas pipelines is a criminal offense against the Nigerian people. Let us join hands and protect our gas pipelines from the enemies of Nigeria. Report any suspected vandal to the security operatives. Let us stop vandals before they destroy our collective national heritage, so we can have the Nigeria of our dreams, where there will be light at all times. This message is brought to you by the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
This is the network service of the NTA.
Some people just want to dance. Give them something to dance. Some people want to reason, and we all go to music to get these parts of our lives triggered. One sure way to describe my guest on the show today is to call him an embodiment of talent. As a child, he combined curiosity and creativity, and today he is a fantastic guitarist, a songwriter, movie producer, and music video producer, and so on. So just sit, relax, and enjoy as Favor Johnson tells us more about himself and his achievements in the music profession on My Music and I. My name is Yetunde Atolagbe.
By the stripes you bear, now I am here. I'm your temple, God, and I've got heavens in my heart. Come on, everybody, celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. Let the living hear me celebrate. I'm gonna celebrate. Celebrate. Everybody come on and celebrate. If you're alive and well, if you can listen to this music, if you're not deaf and dumb, come on now, celebrate. Everybody come on and celebrate. Everybody come on, let us celebrate your goodness in our life. What manner of love can be more than this? That you gave your life for one like me. By the stripes you bear, now I am here. I am your temple, oh God, and I've got heavens in my heart. I'm gonna celebrate. My name is Favor Johnson. I am from that village, Orokam, to be precise, from Benue State. I have been an artist even as a child, and I've been a very curious person. Growing up, I wanted to know how everything works. As a matter of fact, we had this Sony TV that opens like a door. One day I opened it and tried to enter into the television to see what's happening. Daddy had to get another television. Also figured out how to make boiling ring, all by myself. And then I was able to create an antenna that would catch UHF then on my own growing up. I've been a very curious child growing up. I started playing along with flying objects. I lost the idea of making my own helicopters and flying, flying saucer and all that. I tried the balloon and so lots of things that kids do. Growing up was interesting. I had a lot of moments in my life as a child that I was alone all by myself, and the only thing I could resort to was music. I started listening to music, started appreciating music, started trying to sound like musicians. And then somewhere around 1989, I began to engage myself with the Curtis Blow, the then rappers. Then not long after then, the Queen Latifah, the Ice Cube, LL Cool J started coming out, And it's so interesting how the hip hop thing catch up with children so quickly. Truly, that was my first interaction with music, and it was that. That's how my journey started into music. I decided to start looking away from my scientific curiosity and inclination as a child. I started looking at poetry. As a matter of fact, it influenced what I decided to study in school, because I fell truly in love with music. And from then till now, that's all I know to do, and that is what I love to do. And every other thing that I found myself doing later was a quest and a way of finding out something that will help me do music. So in the long run, what I want to be is music. What I want to do is music.
You already know. Hey, Mojo. Get a favor. Are you really thirsty?
Come there and drink of the mercy of Jesus Christ by the river of life. Come in if your soul is searching. Come in if your soul is thirsty. Come in and drink freely here. Come in and drink so freely here, my friend. Banirua Insha Banirua Insha. I have this interesting side of my childhood story. My father was a policeman. He was working with the state CID, and they were in charge of photography. And he had his personal studio shortly after he resigned. And when I was about the age of 9, I was one of the persons that was staying in the studio, myself and one of my cousins, Johnson by name. We stayed in my father's studio, walked in it. I learned how to print photos on that printer, the photo printer, and then develop and then print out, from the dark room, and then cut passport photographs for customers, and then come back and give my dad the account. So my journey into photography started. And for many years in my life, even while I was in school, I was doing photography to support myself. Then one thing led to the other, led to many more other trades. I'm a painter, an artist, a cinematographer, and today, one of the things I do well is handle the camera. Today I'm into movie production. Just a little bit of all that has come up from my past up until now. So that's how I got into movie making. But of course, my dad laid the foundation for me when he taught me how to handle the camera. And till today, as we speak today, I train people in photography. My son is a good camera person, handles the camera very well. He's behind one of these cameras. You might get to meet him sometime. you know. And then I do music, I do arts. It's a beautiful fountain. There's something about the arts life of a person. You could give expression to it in any way. It could be acting, it could be writing, it could be being savvy with gadgets and equipment, it could be instruments, you know, and it could be voice.
God having no one greater than himself, swore by his throne, meaning if his covenant with man should fail, he is to be God, by two immutable things, by which it is impossible for God to lie. God cannot lie. God having no one greater than himself, swore by his throne, meaning if his covenant with man should fail, he is to be God, by two immutable things, by which it is impossible for God to lie. God cannot lie. Faithful God, faithful.
I had a very interesting style of academy. I desired to be an artist, and so I deviated from the science class and decided to go into arts in SS1. SS1, I think we're crossing from the forms to the SS, and then somehow second term into SS1, I decided that I was going to art class. I wanted to know more of literature. I wanted to know more of poetry. I wanted to understand English more. I thought if I did arts, I was going to get a grasp of these things and it would help my music and all that. And that was what informed decision. And somehow I was caught up with the fine and applied arts, Benue Polytechnic. I started, and then also I learned how to braid. Can you believe it? I could braid, fix weavon, you know, washing and setting, did all those things.
It's so amazing to know that Johnson even learned and practiced other genres of art like photography and many other things, always doing something positive, never being found idle. And that is a lesson for the young ones. Now, let's sit and watch, listen more as Johnson tells us more about those songs and musicians that are still very evergreen in his memory.
Growing up, I listened to a lot of music. I listened to Bob Marley, also listened to Peter Tosh, and was Victor Wyfo was there. Those are music my dad played practically, and I listened to it all the way. I also had the privilege of listening to Mohammed Shatta. Allah, na Allah me baba ya gode, yana me ganga zunguri. You know, I listened to that also in the north. It plays almost every now and then on the radio station. I listened to a lot of music, and I think it formed my interest in music today. You know, looking back, I just realized that everything that I do today with music is something that I've clipped to my mind from the past. Interesting. Music to me is sound. Interesting sounds. Sounds that are arranged rhythmically. And for me, that is music. Music is interesting because it can exist with or without words. But I love music all the same. To me, music is life. To me, music is something that the soul of a man can fall on when the chips are down. Just imagine the world without male or female. If you can put your thoughts together, imagining the world without a man or a woman, then you can say, you can understand what the world would look like without music. And some people have mastered the art of capturing songs from the realm of imagination, bringing them here to our world to appreciate. I think I find myself in this category.
Faithful God, faithful God, I'm gonna take this covenant so serious, serious, serious. I'm gonna take this covenant so serious, because He lives, I confess to move, because He speaks, there be no more soul. I'm gonna take this covenant so serious. I'm gonna take this covenant so
Nigerian music has been so encouraging, so interesting. Now, I like to separate the nature, the culture, and the tradition of our music from our sense of content when it concerns music. And again, that depends on who. Some people just want to dance. Give them something to dance. Some people want to relieve moments. Some people want to reason. And we all go to music to get this part of our lives re-engineered or triggered. So we get to listen to music. Nigeria today, you see all manner of music. You know what? It's getting better. There is a change, there's a shift somewhere. And I see it in the Nigerian music industry. Things are taking shape. There are guys doing fantastically well. Someone like Chris Morgan, for instance, I love that guy. I love his personality and I love the music that he brings out. Songs, they bless me a lot. The one of the phrases in the song that, you know, is well known all over is daily as I live, often as I breathe. May my whole life be an expression of your love and of your grace. Those are the words of Chris Morgan. I love the guy and I love his song.
daily as I live, often as I breathe, let my whole life be expressions of your grace. Daily as I live, often as I breathe, let my whole life be expressions of your grace. Daily as I live, often as I breathe, let my whole life be expressions of your grace. We cry, Abba Father, hallowed be your name, hallowed be your name, hallowed be your name.
The next person I appreciate his song so well is 6 Foot Plus, aka Alfred Antoine. My personal man. That's not the word. My personal Ebezina. If he's watching, he knows what I'm talking about. You know, he's someone whose music is just, as far as I'm concerned, timeless and ageless. One of the songs he did that I love so much is He Don't Do Me. Could message so much information and story behind that song. Fantastic music. I love 6 Foot Plus in his album.
Foolish man, you not go stop before you kill him. We know it's in your nature, but then try to control him. Another day, another blow in the eye. One injury too many made the woman decide. I can't take it anymore. All these bruises, what for? Instead of love and respect, I fear my husband the more. Love become hate. Nothing line day between them. Enough is enough. She ran away with the children. She say, she say, she say, she say. Whoa, lie, lie. She say, she say, she say, she say. He don't do me. He don't do me. Whoa, he don't do me. He don't do me. Whoa, lie, lie.
Another guy I appreciate so well is Mon9. I featured him in one of my tracks. Though it's a gospel music, he came all the way from Lagos to Abuja to record the song with me. We also shot the video together. Fantastic music. Shadow.
Has that water of life just to quench the thirst. Yeah, and it's the dawning of a new era. Rejuvenate the spirit so you can see clearer. The feeling that you're gonna get, ain't nothing right with that. Yeah, please, call it the Bible rap. Water of life's a component of your survival pack, and that's a fact. So shine like the supernova and get the refill till your cup running over. Tell a son and father, mother and daughter, that the negative fire can get down to the water. You ought to let it flow, just let it flow. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. Yeah, hey, you already know. Hey, Mojo. Get a favor. Are you really thirsty?
Come there and drink of the mercy of Jesus Christ.
Sam song. Oh my God. That Sam song, he's just, I love the guy, very easygoing, simple. You know, he loves people and he is talented. I love the guy. And I love his music.
Turn me around, make me wanna dance, even when I know one dance. Turn me around, make me wanna dance. The goodness of the Lord, they make me shout. The goodness of the Lord, they make me shout. What do you don't know? I'm not in your feet, I can't go. I want to testify. I am not wanting you. The goodness of the Lord, they make me shout. I don't come with the voice you gave to me to sing a song to you, though it will never be enough. My shelter and my shield, the lamp unto my feet, shine.
I did a movie recently that I created to curb the issue of maternal mortality, you know, during childbirth. And then I was able to coin out a story called Sadia of a young girl who decided that she was not going to continue with the traditional way of midwifery and that she was going to study to do it professionally to save more lives.
Namin kan mi jodata wallahi. Sadiya aradin adillata. Haba Sadiya. Ba inda saki. Ki duba ki ga mahaifinki yana ciki, yana kuka. Da ɓaci ranki ya kwana jiya. Haba Sadiya, na zaki ba za ki je ko ina ba. Mu koma ciki Sadiya. Mu koma ciki. Ba inda zaki.
Daga bisani samu sassauci ba. Illa ƙara matsi da tsangwama da maganganu kan bin tsohuwar al'adar da babata take kai na aikin ungozomancin gargajiyanci.
Inna, dan Allah ba za ki ce komai a maganan nan ba.
Sadiya, akwai shawarar da zan baki. Ki saurare ki ji maganar nan da mahaifinki ke gaya miki sosai Sadiya.
I am married, 5 kids, one adopted daughter, 2 as a matter of fact, but the other one is way far in Port Harcourt, you know, and my first son right here in the studio, he's also growing up to be a cinematographer. He's studying to be a microbiologist. He says he wants to study medicine. And then I have other kids, you know. I have a lovely wife, a woman that supports me. All she wants is just for me to fulfill my dream. She's always there helping me all the way, you know, putting things right, making sure that I don't forget something that is important to me and to us as a family. We've come a long way. I've known her for over 24 years. You know, she's a lovely lady. She's very, very quiet, very tolerant. She accommodates any person. Once I say this is a friend, or this is a relative, or this person supports my work, my wife accepts such persons straight up.
Of course, because I have seen a lot of those songs and they are really touching. I find them very, very interesting. And I hope you had a great day today with my guest on My Music and I. Next week brings you another moment that will sweep you off your feet, and you will be very glad you saw this program. Until then, I remain my humble self, Yetunde Atsolagbe. Keep enjoying yourself and celebrating life with music.
Stepping down the wall, head hanging down, had a young man soliloquizing. When am I gonna get my home, get married, get I my children, keep it positive, only believe all things are possible to them that believe. All things are possible, all things are possible, all things are possible to them that believe. All things are possible to them that believe. All things are possible to them that believe.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live. NTA, you can't beat the rich.
Badagry, lined with coconut trees, can best be described as a coconut town in Nigeria. But the coconut traders don't seem to have enough products to sell. Still, we gather that more coconuts are imported from other West African countries like Togo and Ghana.
This is the famous coconut market here in Badagry. Of course, we see people who are doing brisk business, people selling and people buying. Incidentally, this truck that you see here is on its way to Osogbo, filled with nothing else but coconuts. Let's find out all that happens in this market.
I have been into the business since I was a young girl. It is over 40 years. I always come from Osogbo to buy coconuts here. Presently, we buy a heap of coconut at 1,500 naira or 1,600 naira. We pack 4 to 5 heaps of coconut into one sack. 40 pieces of coconut makes a heap.
Male traders and female traders come here to buy coconuts. They buy in heaps of 40 coconuts and take them to Kano, Zaria, Oyo, Ibadan, Oshobo, and Kwara.
Service of the NTA.
Let me just ask you a few questions, Shuka, as to, just to clarify a little bit about this idea that you need the smaller clubs for you to have excitement or whatever else it is, or to be able to maximize, all of the opportunities possible. Which league is the most commercialized league in the whole world?
It's England.
I'm talking not even football. The most commercialized sports league in the world.
Right now,
it is the NFL. It is the NFL. And there is no relegation in the NFL. There's no promotion. It is a locked box of teams who play themselves year in, year out, and the excitement is still there. It's generating income incrementally. The trajectory of its growth is on the upward. After the NFL, the next league as well are leagues like the baseball league and the NBA, and the teams there as well are unlocked. Miami Heat to play Cleveland, and all whatnot. They play themselves year in, year out. Nobody's getting promoted, nobody's getting relegated. They've created a system that is really, really exciting, and it's also remarkably profitable. So I think that adopting this kind of thinking in Europe is not necessarily a bad idea, because we've already seen that it works. What the smaller teams are saying is that when the big teams go in some sort of way, the assurance that they'll be playing themselves means that the smaller clubs cannot aspire, to join them. Unfortunately, that's how life works. What matters in life the most, while seeking the best possible for other people, you must seek the best for yourself. And what the big teams in Europe are doing is to say to themselves that if we come together and play ourselves on a week in, week out basis, our fans, first of all, will be very, very excited. The whole world will want to watch those games, and we as football clubs will make the most money. I think that fundamentally is actually a brilliant idea.
Maybe because we've not seen, or we've not been able to actually lay hands on how this model is going to work.
No, it's simple enough. The biggest clubs in Europe we understand create an European Super League. What that means is that they're playing themselves on a normal basis, and there'll be a winner. What that also means is that there'll be no relegation. It means that those teams will be playing themselves on a weekly.
We understand. We understand.
No, just say you understand. So
I mean that part of it, we understand. Okay. For instance, we look at the NBA, we see that the way the NBA is run, we don't have an alternate league to the NBA.
No, there's the D League. That's in other places.
Yes, we understand.
The NBA is not the only league.
Yes,
we understand in America.
We understand that.
Exactly.
Yes, that's what I'm saying now. But if
have you seen those things gather together and say that the NBA is being unfair?
You're talking about the US now. That's a country, yes. But if you look at Europe, it's more dynamic than European football. It's more dynamic than we'll give credit to. So if you pull out 20 teams from different countries in Europe,
yes,
which is more like how do I put it? Replicating another Champions League, but this time for the biggest of the biggest teams in Europe.
The way it works is that everything is an idea. Yes. The Champions League is an idea.
Yes.
The European Super League is an idea. And already, the Champions League is supposed to be, initially it was supposed to be for champions.
Yes.
Only the teams that won the league.
Yes.
Then they watered it down to 2, 3, and 4. In fact, for the past few years, the teams that have been winning Champions League
because money has crept into it.
So and nothing is wrong now that I mentioned money. And that means that these big clubs who are looking to pull away are in no way different from UEFA.
That is why the league has lost some glory, and that is why this guy. Wait, that is why this. Let me land. Your question, but let me land. That is why if you look at these teams are trying to pull away. For instance, you remember in the 90s, Berlusconi first of all came up with this idea. Later, Florentino Perez came up with this idea because they were missing the days where you get to see AC Milan play Real Madrid, where you get to see Juventus play Barcelona.
That's a legitimate reason.
Because it was champions that were actually playing Champions League. So by law of averages, you will see okay, similar to Real Madrid, because it has been watered down, because more money is entering into football.
So what would you rather? Less money and those games?
No, there will be more money if football is restructured, but not the way it is being planned, where you pick up just 20 teams and you pack them to one side.
Would you rather? 100.
For instance, let's look at the way the English League is now. 20 years ago, according to this format that they want to do, Chelsea and Arsenal are in this will be in this 20-man team.
Yes.
In fact, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United, and Manchester City included. But 20 years ago, a Chelsea won't be put in this category.
Shuka, shall I tell you what? 20 years ago, Chelsea was also a member of the English Premier League. Some other clubs too were locked out. That's how life works. Time and chance. Time and chance.
20 years ago, Chelsea would not have been called in this category.
I'm talking about the Premiership itself.
Yes.
You know the Premiership itself, evolved from the English League.
Yes.
And let me land. Because the way the Premiership was formed also was that 20 clubs gathered themselves together and decided to create a new league after the issues that they had with security and all of the
yes.
Bottom line, Chuka.
But they allowed room for other teams to come in.
But
there was promotion, there was relegation.
That's what I'm saying. You see the concept of
promotion. This one is
a
locked league.
Chuka.
It's a locked league where nobody goes out, nobody comes in.
Chuka, it is an idea. The idea of promotion and relegation is also an idea. No idea is good, no idea is bad.
Yes, but
all ideas
what makes it exciting.
To you, in America,
in
America, if you relegate a team in America, they also don't understand it. That's what I'm trying to make to you. That life is about ideas, and nobody owns a monopoly of any idea. You could have been going in one direction for 100 years. That doesn't mean that you should keep going. If somebody says let's consider this other direction, you should think.
Yeah,
some people thought the world was flat. We should
think. We should consider it. But looking at what they put on the table,
if your opportunities are massive, you should go ahead and do it.
So, but for me, that's a bit. Let me say, use the word selfish. You want to make the same way.
Let me tell you what.